I'm John Bowden, and part five of our convo with Steve Hackett. It's, I do believe, our eighth, it could be even our ninth interview with Steve Hackett. Check it out. Genesis Revisited, Seconds Out, one of my favorite live albums anyway of all time. And now you've given me another one of my favorite live albums doing this. I remember Armando Gallo's book said that when you guys were touring in the early days, that was two sets of 747 landing lights. I think he was the one that said it. Was that true? Was that actually?
That's right. Yeah, they were originally landing lights, and we decided to have that again as a just as a kind of memento, or to frame the photograph of that revisit, to do the same thing. Just because in a way it was recognizable. It was part of it, and of course that accompanied Afterglow and Los Endos, and so yes, lovely to revisit it. I like to think that the production on this, for my taste, I find it closer to my own production tastes compared to the original. And I realize that it's like someone saying, "Oh, you're messing with my childhood. That's sacred. That's the Sermon on the Mount. It's come down." But it's a little bit like maybe the stones have been polished a little bit. Some of the rough edges have been knocked off it. But I think it still has attitude, because the way the guys do that stuff is really good. The team I'm working with, and we've also been working next on Foxtrot. So in a few days, next Friday, we kick off with Foxtrot in its entirety, and quite a bit of Voyage of the Acolyte, because I'm celebrating that and 1-2 other things. Camino Royale from Highly Strung, and we're doing The Knife, which is another old favorite of Genesis from way back, and Genesis Live. So we're doing that as well. And little tracks like Timetable, which is a little Cinderella song, which is on Foxtrot. It sounds so beautiful doing it with the band. I get great joy of hearing it sound, not just the way it sounded then, but also the way it sounds on record, because everything is very well observed. You think you're listening to the record. We've just been doing it in the rehearsal room, and even the tinkly sound at the end, which was a piano with a plectrum inside the soundboard. So we're doing that with a dulcimer, or rather a dulcimer sample triggered from keyboard. But it sounds absolutely just like it. It's got all the delicacy, but all the sparkle of that, and hopefully people will hear it on a large scale, much larger than they heard it back in the day. And I hope that it will be fully immersive, certainly emotionally completely immersive and satisfying, and not just nostalgic, but I want to be able to celebrate that, and obviously keep the legacy alive of all those things. Certain things sound wonderful, like Watcher. We did a version of Watcher, and I've added a few things to the sound at the very beginning. I've been saying, on record, we've got sort of reverb and all that, and I don't want it to be dry. So adding reverb, there'll also be obviously ambience of each hall that we do it in, but the band do such an incredible version of it, and getting the 3-part harmonies right on the chorus of that. I just figured out today the best way to do that is if there were 4 of us going at it. One on the upper harm, one on the middle part, the main part. 2 guys singing the melody, the harmony underneath, and me doing a falsetto harmony on top. And it sounds very, very sweet. It's got something that I was doing it in full voice first of all, a bit squeaky. In falsetto, it's absolutely damn pristine, and it goes up a notch all the time. So I'm very proud of that. It's gone very well. The last 2 days rehearsal with the band, because I spent a lot of time getting this into my own brain. And certain things like The Knife, for instance, which was written before I joined the band, but we did a version on Genesis Live, which it's got attitude, not a lot of accuracy. It's got attitude on the original from 72, 73, but now I can do it with a bit more accuracy, and I found a sound. I've got a Metal Zone pedal that I'm using, and it's very it sounds like wildfire. That's what it sounds like, as it should do. And I'm using a wah-wah with it as well, and that seems to give it even more attitude. We played it today, and Jonas said to me, "It sounds like I'm 18 again." He said, because it's got that young band Genesis trying to be Deep Purple or something very close. In fact, it was originally called The Nice because there was the aspect of whatever The Nice did and Keith Emerson, etc. So, and I believe it's mainly from the pen of Anthony Phillips. But I remember it being a really good number from way back. And I saw a tribute band a while back doing stuff which, most of it wasn't that accurate, and they were kind of struggling. And then right at the end, they came back and they did Knife as an encore. And I think because they got the sounds right, I could see why it just rocked from the word go. And so I'm kind of, I'm very happy that rehearsal, we're ready to do a gig now, basically, but we'll perfect things over the next couple of days, and then we're out there doing it.
Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. Links to Steve Hackett in the top of the description. If you want to help the channel, there's Patreon links and PayPal links at the very top as well. Make sure to like the video. This is Rock History Music.